giving up is the most, I wouldn't call it a rule, but giving up is the most important thing you can do in life if you want to manifest a specific outcome. But it goes beyond that because, I don't want to, like, you have to give up in the sense of finally just letting the mask fall, letting all your boundaries dissolve. So you've tried everything, you've gone down so many dead-end paths, you've tried so many things. At the point of surrender, that's when everything just starts happening. And giving up is understanding who you are. It's giving up the acting. It's giving up the ghost. It's giving up the ego. It's giving up your perception of how life should be. And it's just giving up in general. You're giving up. You're giving up energy. You're giving up the energy that you desire to be up with. But I don't know. Yeah, I've got a story. When I had a case manager for my mental health stuff back in the day, when I was on a community treatment plan or something. And I have no idea what was going on back then. It's hard to even remember because I was so out of it. But I remember my case manager said to me, because I said, I've just got to surrender. And then he said, never surrender, don't surrender. And he was so sure of himself, this 50-year-old man saying, never give up, never surrender. And it took me to my 30s, all this soul searching, all this self-destructive behavior, all of this near-death experience. I've had 2 or 3 particular near-death experiences. One when I was drowning in the ocean when I was a little kid. My second was in 2015 when I had a drug overdose and almost killed myself, almost just died because of the drugs. And that's also what led to the mental health crises. And then my suicide attempt, or my self-deleting attempt. It doesn't matter. But my self-deleting attempt was on my 10,000th day of being alive. I believe it was in March or April of 2020 or 2021, or I could be getting 2022. I think it was 2022. And that was my last straw. And what I realized is self-deleting isn't giving up. Giving up is just being completely here. It's letting go of the need to control the outcome. It's letting go of needing to place a hand over the future or drowning in the ghost of the past. It's giving up that ghost and it's going, I'm going to be here now in the moment and just give up into it, surrender into it. And the reason I say giving up instead of surrendering, because surrendering is a pretty way of saying it, a sugar-coated way of saying it, so it doesn't feel like you're giving up. It is giving up. You need to do this. Failing is another cliche. People say you need to fail. Of course, you need to fail to realize you have to give up. And I don't mean give up as in self-deleting. That's a whole other can of worms. We don't know what that does to you. We don't know what comes afterwards. We don't know if we just transfer to another timeline where we didn't do that, or we go to hell, or we go to heaven, or we don't know what happens. But it's most likely a timeline shift if you see like into quantum physics and string theory and all that. But yeah, I'm telling you, give up. Like honestly, if you're stressed, give up, because once you give up, there's no need anymore. You're still going to have a little bit of stress here and there when you fall into that kind of space. But yeah, and you don't need to be perfect. Yeah, you don't need to be perfect, man. You don't need to pretend. You'll find that when this happened to me a while ago, but when it happens, people don't want to be in your presence because you can see right through them and they can feel that, and they get so insecure and they just want to project all their stuff onto you, but it's revealing them more. And yeah, it's a lonely path, but you're going to meet people who are on the exact same kind of, I don't even want to use the term frequency anymore, just authenticity. It's the same level of authenticity as you are. We're all authentic deep down. Yeah, so once you do give up, that's when you can start building, and you'll find things just come into your life when you give up. Like the amount of love interests I have, I'm not really particularly keen on falling into any old relationship because it's been so long I've stayed without one. But just up until recently, I was quite lonely, and now that I've given up the loneliness as well, and the want to be alone, I've had all these offers come in. I've had all these women that are, you know, in my physical reality, and you know, but I don't care. I've given up. We got to take the, it's gonna be painful, but we have to take the perspective of giving up is so lame right now. You need to give up to build something, because everything you've learned up until this point has been taught to you by someone else. It's essentially it. You have to give up everything that other people have put on you and learn what you are, shadow and all, and love those bits of your shadow, or at least authenticize them. However you do it and whatever you do, you're welcome here. So give up the ghost.